Hey everyone, happy Friday. I have missed you guys so much. I apologize for the delay, but happy Friday, happy spring, happy new month. Hope everyone's enjoying the new season and we're getting ready to soak up the sun a little bit more. This is my 8-month sobriety update. I apologize for the delay. It was a little bit late coming out. I was going to be doing this every 30 days, so I was supposed to put this out on day 240. However, I got really busy with just working multiple jobs and I got sick. So this is on this day 248, but it's still 8 months. So anyways, here I go. Before I get into my update, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Darren. I am 31 years old from Vancouver, BC, Canada, and I have been on this sobriety update for just over 8 months. Duh. And I started this journey because I was just sick of alcohol. I am running a lot. I've done 5 marathons so far, and I'm just taking it even more and more seriously. And the way that alcohol made me feel, and it got interfering in my training, and I was getting heart murmurs, and just how I behaved when I was drinking, I was just like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. So I gave all the booze I had away to my friends, and I was like, here you go, you take it from me, drink it all. I am hardcore doing this, and I have just been on this path, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I have set myself a goal of doing it for a year, but honestly, I just don't want to drink anymore. I'm completely over it, very turned off of it, and there's so many more benefits to how I'm feeling now than what I was before. But anyways, that's a little sidetracked and not about just me, but yeah. I also have cystic fibrosis, so on top of how it was making me feel and how it was getting away in my training, it's probably good that I don't drink considering what I have and the medications that I take. So I'm just a new and an improved man. And I think that's all you need to know about me. I think I'm 5'7". I have 2 black cats named Arthur and Buster. I got them when they were 3 and 5, and that was in 2019. So I'll let you do the math because I'm not so good at quick math. Yeah, I live in a little 450 square foot apartment. I absolutely love it. And yeah, that's about me. So let me get into my update. So overall, I feel absolutely fantastic. I have been spreading my positivity with room to spare. I haven't had any urges to drink, and I even went out on St. Patrick's Day, which is my favorite holiday because I used to do competitive Irish dancing for 10 years. So on St. Patrick's Day that just passed, I was dancing with my dance crew all day long and absolutely had the most amazing time ever. So yeah, that's what I did. And I've just been mentally feeling really super amazing. Last week I was having this weird wheezing, coughing, breathing issues. It only lasted about a week, and now I'm back on track. I'm back to my baseline. I just started running again this week, so that seems to have subsided, and I am back on track, and I'm all good. Now, one thing I really enjoy is because I'm so passionate about what I'm doing for sobriety and also just how much I love running, I now find that when I have conversations with people, I tend to just talk about those 2 topics, which also kind of branches into other kind of subtopics about life. But I've never talked so much about this because I'm so passionate, and I just can't even describe to you how fascinating it is by all the different things that you could talk about in different scenarios. And I had a couple of conversations with 2 friends of mine, and I just want to discuss those because I definitely, from one of them, I think there's some big takeaways that other people definitely are probably feeling the same way. And I would just like to give my advice and tips if you are in a similar situation. And I also want to add that when I do have conversations, let's just say specifically around sobriety, I love the support that I have. It's always filled with so much support and happiness, and it really continues to motivate me. And I don't need to have support constantly. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm motivating myself, and I am completely good with what I'm doing, and I'm very focused and in it, but it still always is just that extra little support, always is a nice little boost. And I'm obviously always going to take nice positivity from people. But yeah, just something that I wanted to add is I just love the support. I feel like sometimes I'm not a bad overwhelm, but like a good crying, happy overwhelm just because I love it. So one of the conversations I had was when I used to work at Blueprint, which is, if you're not from Vancouver, Blueprint is an events company, but also owns many nightlife venues in the city. And throughout my time in nightlife, I have met many DJs and they have become my friends. And so one DJ that I became friends with and I've met, I don't work for Blueprint anymore, but I sometimes take a shift here and there. So I was doing a bartending shift at Fortune Sound Club, and I was talking to my friend, and they were saying how they have been on their own sobriety journey for over 6 years, and just they were talking about the way that it's made them feel and all the benefits and how they have been prioritizing their exercise. And it just really made me feel I love hearing about stories, especially for the amount of time that they haven't been drinking. Oh, I feel like I feel a drive in me, and I can't wait to go on years and years and years and be in that similar situation where I could talk to others and say, hey, I haven't drank for 5 years, 10 years. I know obviously it takes time and I'm okay with that, but I love hearing about the benefits that they feel, how they're taking their health so seriously. But I also really like how they are still in nightlife and they're able to do that. And I feel like that takes a whole other dedication and mental strength and motivation to be in the industry still like that. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how much they continue to DJ, but I know for myself, when I was being a manager and I was there a lot of hours, if I were doing what I am right now on this journey and still in nightlife like that, I feel like would I be able to be in this situation that I am now? I honestly don't know. I think it's kind of partly why I left nightlife, is because I wanted to live a healthier lifestyle. So I think I could go back in it, because now that I've kind of passed this hurdle of, okay, I'm building on the fundamentals of my journey, and I'm at a point where I have the strength, and I'm already so turned off of alcohol that I probably could go back into nightlife if I really wanted to, but I don't. But anyways, I'm just giving a shout out to them. I have not got consent from them to use their name and he, she. I just don't want to mention that because I don't know. I just don't want to out them, but that's the conversation I had. And I just want to say, yay you, if you know who you are and you're watching this is to you. You're amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you for our conversation. It meant way more than you thought. But anyways, that's my first that's my first conversation that I had. Now, my second conversation, this is where I want to add my advice and thoughts. So I was talking to a friend, and they were talking about how long that they haven't been drinking for and how great that they feel, but they definitely want to drink again, but they're afraid of, because they know how great it makes them feel right now and some of the negative impacts on how it made them feel when they were drinking, but finding a balance and being surrounded around people that may judge them. And so they're kind of in this limbo of like they know that they're doing something really good and they want to continue doing it, but then they don't want to feel bad about themselves when they do have a drink again. And I just want to talk about all of that and what I think of it and what I would give to people, advice to people if they are in a similar situation. So this is what I would advise. I would say, firstly, there's so many aspects to this, and I could feel like I could dive super deep into this. So I'm going to try to explain this in a way where it's not going to be too lengthy, and this isn't going to be an hour-long video, and I really get to the point. So give me a moment to collect my thoughts and feelings. I would say to start, the biggest, I would say, hurdle is the people that you surround yourself in your life. And I mean, people should be not judgmental. And I think if they are true friends, they should be really understanding and supportive and should understand that if someone doesn't want to drink for their own reasons, that's okay. And they should think that, okay, they're doing something that's healthier for themselves and for their body. And it doesn't impact how their interactions are when they're hanging out. If everyone's having fun, everyone's happy, then great. If you want to drink, if you want to do whatever you want to do it. That shouldn't affect your time together. But I understand that, again, there's social pressures. And I mean, I feel like I have friends in my life who I'm still friends with. And when I was, I feel like when I used to say, oh, I'm going to take a break, but then I would just go back to drinking. And I know when I would say, I'm going to take a break, people would kind of brush it off and say, or not take it seriously, which I get. And I'm definitely not mad at anybody for that. I feel like that's super, super common. But I think if it's to a point where someone has established themselves that they're not drinking for, long enough where they're fully committed and that's something that they really want to do, I think then the mindset should be switched where if you're going to be a good friend, you have to be supportive to them no matter what. And why would you not want to be happy for someone prioritizing their health? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But I also feel like if that's kind of what you're navigating and, there is no way around it, let's say socially, friendship wise, and it will impact, let's say for your own good, your own life, it'll make it impact negatively and it'll be too much pressure where you can't. I would say have the drink. I mean, you obviously, if you know how you feel, I would say in this moment where there's been so much benefits and you know that drinking will have a negative effect, I would say that you have the strength to not drink, for extended periods of time. And I would say in the grand scheme of things, having, let's say, over a week of drinking, and that's what you're doing. You're going back to doing, a lifestyle where you are having, and I'm not saying you're being, binge drinking to the extent 7 days, for the whole 7 days, let's say, when you're hanging with people. But I'm just saying you can afford to have some drinks. And you can always be moderate. You can always, have ways of maybe having soda and making a drink without people knowing that there's not alcohol, I would say going kind of around that where, if it's really going to make an impact, because you also have to think about your own self mentally, and sometimes you have to take sacrifices. And if it's going to affect you more emotionally and mentally in a negative way where you don't drink and you get backlash and it causes anxiety, then have those drinks, have those drinks around those people for those moments if you don't see them often, and then you can go back. And then eventually, maybe the next time when you haven't drank for, I'd say, an even longer extended period, you'll eventually build up the courage to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and having a more real conversation and finding the true steps for them to really be on the same level and understand. And that's how I feel like I would kind of deal with a situation like that. And I wouldn't feel bad about, taking a step back and going back to drinking, because you obviously know that if you've already built up the discipline, you can easily go back to not drinking. So I would say, do less stress on yourself, have the drinks, have fun, get wild, let it out, and then go back to your lifestyle that you were living, and then you can rebuild again. And you can do it. So I feel like, I think those are the main things. But I also think, and I think I said this in my last video or maybe the one before, but I will repeat myself by saying it is so important to have a great support system. I'm so lucky that I have an amazing group of friends. My family's amazing. And now that I've gone this far, I feel like each day, each month is a celebration. And it definitely has helped me in my journey up until now. And I would say, leaning on your support system in times when you do have to rebuild back up in a situation like this, rely on them, lean on them. That's what your friends and family are for, is to be there for you. I would also just celebrate the wins. Be proud of yourself that you have grown and you've made it this far with not drinking, and the fact that you're honestly considering having a lifestyle where you don't want to drink anymore, that's a great point to be in. And sure, maybe you might want to drink and you may feel a little bit bad about it just to get by with hanging with some friends, but then you can go back and you could feel confident and really happy that you're going to be, improving yourself in so many aspects. So remember to celebrate wins. Even if you're going to take a temporary break from it, it's still a huge accomplishment regardless. And I mean, I don't know statistics as to how many people don't drink completely in the world, but I would say it definitely takes a lot mentally to be able to do it. So remember to celebrate what you're doing. Now, I just want to provide an overall update on my life. So I have not posted recently a new episode of Run with Darren. I was doing weekly episodes. However, I now have 2 jobs. I have a full-time job and my part-time job. And sometimes I've been working doubles, and it's too much to be doing that. And also to be creating content weekly. And then also be focusing on my training for my upcoming marathon, which is in almost a month. It's too much. I'm really, really happy that I've established my YouTube channel a bit, and I honestly have really been enjoying not only creating content for myself, but also for the world to see and to inspire others and to create this positive, uplifting community. But I can't be doing it on a weekly basis. It's just not realistic, and I feel like there'd be a lot of negative things to that. So I'm not too sure moving forward how it's going to look with doing videos on my channel. I'm definitely will be doing updates like this every month. So I'll be posting on here once a month for sure. It might just turn into I'm going to be doing a little hybrid this and showing my running and talking about that. So my videos may be a little bit longer. I'm not sure, but I am definitely committing to continue to be uploading on my channel because I really, really enjoy it. And the messages that I've seen already from people, it really motivates me to continue. So that's kind of why I haven't been posting as much, but I will continue to post when I can for sure. I'm not going to stop doing that, so don't worry. I'm still here. Now, my running update. My running has definitely gone a little off track. I am still going to be doing the Vancouver Marathon on Sunday, May the 4th. However, my last 30 days of training have definitely been not so great. Last week, like I said, I was sick. And then the week prior was pretty good. The week before that, I was manifesting getting this full-time job. I've been on the search and I've been applying for many full-time jobs for since the end of November, and it was really getting to me. It was really bringing me down, and I finally got a full-time job, so I was spending a lot of time just manifesting because I feel like I needed to, so I put my running to the side. So I'd say over the last month, my training has definitely not been as great, but I am okay with that because getting a job and getting money is obviously the most important thing. And then when I'm sick, I had to prioritize my health. So I don't really know, like my goal going into the marathon was going to be to do it in 3 hours and 15 minutes. But now with having 2 jobs, I definitely have limited time. So I don't know how intense my training, how I'll be able to continue doing that. So I will do the best that I can. Will I hit my time goal? I honestly don't know, but if I don't, that's okay. I think I'll still be able to run it, I would say, within at least 3 hours and 30 minutes. And that would honestly be an improvement because the last time and the fastest one that I've done so far is 3:32. So as long as I do anything better than that, I will be totally okay with it. So that's kind of my running update. Like I said, I've been getting back to running as of this week, so I'm really happy. I feel like I now have a purpose in life when I'm running again. That's how antsy I felt when not running, and I was just like, oh, I feel so lame. But anyways, back on track now. Hopefully I'll be able to finish my last bit of training really strong, and I will be ready to go on Sunday, May the 4th. And that wraps up this update. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for subscribing. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe. Make sure to like. If you'd like to put a comment, a nice positive comment, or if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video. And I look forward to my 270-day update. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.